This is News Radio WGNS, Murfreesboro. The views and opinions on this show are those of the hosts, guests, and callers, and are not necessarily those of WGNS, its management, other hosts, or advertisers.
All right, and we are here, yes, and these are my own comments and the comments of our guest, and we're glad you're with us tonight here because we have an important topic, as we always do. And Angela Wynn is with me tonight. We're going to talk about the great state of Tennessee and how they are toying with the idea of removing federal tax dollars from your schools, your public schools. Angela, how you doing, huh?
I was good until
until I called a few days ago. Okay. I'm a big boy. I can take it.
Listen,
okay.
I said,
yeah.
here we go again with the attack on public schools, right?
Yeah. And we're going to get into this. We've got, some things going on. I want to tell you about this right now. And Angela just gave me this, Angela Bingham. You can RSVP her at 629-772-4408. And it's, you're to save this date because your course is invited to attend to Learn Life Transforming Information. It's a financial awareness overview, okay? And it's going to be Monday, November 20th, of course, this year at 7 p.m., Path of Life Church at 816 North Church here in Murfreesboro. Speaker's going to be Minister Ron Williams. And unlock your financial potential and explore the incredible path to living your best life now and leaving a legacy. And come help that community grow. This is from Angela Bingham. She's on at 6 with Simplicity. She's out there right now. And, good lady doing a great job. And please remember that if you can. And I'll tell you what, for right now, Jackson, it's all right. We're going to let him kick us off here. But for right now, my name is Edwin Lee Raymer, and yes, I'm still a private investigator. Welcome aboard.
This is the Edwin Lee Raymer Show with your host, Ed Raymer, on your good neighbor station, News Radio, WGNS Murfreesboro.
And that is a little stiff upper lip from AC/DC. And yes, this is Edwin Lee Raymer Show, and I'm your host, Ed Raymer. This show is produced at the studios of WGNS AM 1450, 100.5, 101.9 FM, right here in the heart of the great volunteer state, Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Now, you can reach me and Angela tonight with your questions, comments, or thoughts and ideas at 615-893-1450. That's 615-893-1450. And you can also text a comment or idea. Send us a text to that. And Jackson, who's on the board, will be glad to read it for you. We'll read it over there. He'll write it down and give it to me or Angela. We'll read it for you for those of you that are a little too shy to be on the air. You can also watch via YouTube right now, via YouTube Live, okay? At News Radio WGNS, and you can find us there. And we're on, like I said, we're on the air live right now. You ever dream you'd ever be on live TV? I mean, doing a show with a guy like me?
Not with a guy like you, Ed.
Let's move on. But we are there, and you can find, and all of our shows are there too. All you got to do is type in Edwin Lee Raymer Show on YouTube, and it'll pull up the shows we've done in the past. If you want to go back and review a show, it's a good resource. But we are radio; we're not television. But hey, modern technology is what it is. Now, you can also download the WGNS app and take WGNS with you wherever you go, listen whenever you wish. And like I said, check out Angela Bingham because she's doing a great job with Simplicity, and she's just a fine lady. And yes, she is one of the Bingham sisters that sing. You ever heard them sing?
I haven't heard them sing.
They've been at it since they were little girls. Oh. So yeah, they can flat do it.
Well, we exchanged information, so I'll
okay,
have to.
All right. You talk to her. I'm telling you. I want to tell you about a good friend of ours too. One of our newest sponsors, Keep It Running Heat and Air. And if you and your family are looking for a locally owned heating and cooling company, let me introduce you to Joe at Keep It Running Heating and Cooling Company. He's got over 12 years experience in the field. Joe and his company, Keep It Running, are located right here in Murfreesboro. And they're fully licensed, insured, bonded, and available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, helping you with all your family with all your heating and cooling needs. So if you're looking for a company you can trust, someone that knows what they're doing, give Joe a call at 615-962-2397. That's 615-962-2397. You can visit their website, Keep It Running, heatingandcooling.com, and catch them on Facebook as well. Fine people, fine folks here in Rutherford County. As I said, Angela Wynn is our guest. Good evening again. Angela, thank you for agreeing to do this. Okay?
Oh, absolutely.
And will you tilt that mic down just a little bit and pull it a little closer? You can pull it a little closer to you. Go ahead. It moves.
Is that better?
That's fine.
There
That's
we
fine.
go.
Angela, we've got, and I called you because you keep up with this. You and your husband have 5 children.
Yes, we do.
This is from a story in October 20th of this year in the Daily News Journal. It was a Friday edition, and I picked it up off a newsstand. How much do Tennessee school districts rely on federal funding? It's a story by Rachel Wegner, WGNR, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, of the Nashville, Tennessee, and also in association with USA Today Network out of Tennessee. Talk of Tennessee rejecting, now get this now, Angela, $1.8 billion in federal education funding has stirred intense controversy this past year. Now, okay, what does this mean? Well, let's start with here in good old Rutherford County. This is us. Rutherford County in year 21-22, and these are the latest figures they had at that time, was over 13% of their budget, which amounted to $71,800,000, nearly $72 million of federal funding for your kids, your school. This talks about, and well, let me go ahead and throw this in. And for our Murfreesboro City Schools, $23,400,000. That's about almost 19% of their budget. Okay, so we're looking at what, $95 million. You know, tell them what it is by now for the 22-23 year. Angela, this includes school lunches. This includes, which as people know, and I guess I sound like a broken record, I've been in favor of feeding all the kids free lunches, free breakfast for years.
Yeah.
Just feed them, take care of them.
Yeah.
But how are, you know, and I'm not throwing a yoke around your neck. How are we supposed to go without $1.8 billion? This is not popcorn we're talking about here.
No, it's definitely not a small amount. And what they're toying around with is supplementing with the new revenue that the state is receiving right now, which to me is ridiculous considering the issues that we already have plaguing our school systems. Those funds could be allocated towards the things that we desperately need now.
Right.
For example, more schools.
Yeah,
more
right,
teachers.
especially here. Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it makes absolutely no sense for them to even be thinking about rejecting this amount of money, especially right now. You know, our reliance on federal funds has only gone up since right before the pandemic, and it's risen at a steady pace. You know, remember when people talked about how there was learning loss, education gaps, and so that's what's happening right now. We're trying to pump money into the school system to make sure that we're making up the difference so our children don't suffer in the end. So them suggesting taking away that amount of money and then putting the burden on state funds that really should be allocated to something else is not fair to us, right? I mean, we're
Right.
taxpayers, right?
Exactly.
So imagine we're paying taxes and these federal funds are going to other schools. They're not coming to ours. So then what do we get out of this? What is our benefit? And
Right.
their notion is, okay, well, we can get rid of the tape or the regulations that come with federal funds. Well, what are those regulations, right? We
Right.
have Title I, we have Title III,
Right.
and we have Title V. So to say that we want to cut or reject federal funding because we want more autonomy, and Mr. Sexton wants to run Tennessee public education in
Cameron
the way that,
Sexton, Speaker of the House.
the way that he sees fit. That's not asking the people what they want, right?
Right.
This is another way. It's a government reach, and aren't the GOP about less government?
That's I couldn't have put it better. Thank you very much. I mean, here's Governor Bill Lee, who must be one heck of a heat and air man, but I'm going to tell you, he supports legislature's effort. Of course, he's the one that wanted this charter school thing anyway, and let a man sit up there and talk about Tennessee's teachers like they were just a bunch of dummies.
Oh yes, we do remember
And
that.
did not make any effort to correct him or straighten him out or anything. Sat there with a big smile on his face. He supports the legislature's effort to study the issue and cited excessive overreach by the federal government. So a 10-member panel was appointed September 25th. I'm worried about this bunch. It'd be like appointing me to do something like this, to determine whether the state can legally reject the money and to recommend a strategy before the 24 legislative session is set to kick off. This will be January 9th of next year. And we mentioned the areas, among the areas supported by that $1.8 billion in federal funds are programs for low-income students, students with disabilities, school lunch, among many other things. Sexton says that he's a Republican from up there in Crossville, said it could make up the difference with state dollars. So what have they been doing with our money so far?
I haven't seen anything being
I don't
done.
know. We're still paying taxes on food when we go to the grocery. We didn't the last couple of months. I think we had the free tax on food. That was big of them to do.
That was really nice.
Yeah, that was great. Don't let them pat themselves on the back too much. But, I mean, we're talking serious money just right here in our county. Not to mention Shelby County, Davis County. Of course, naturally, they've got much bigger school systems.
Yeah, so Shelby County is definitely the #1 county that relies on federal funds.
And yes,
and
that is Memphis.
Yeah,
Right.
and when you think about that, they need it the most given their population, right? Title I is very important in areas where there are a large amount of minorities and underrepresented communities, but more so than Title I affecting us personally in Rutherford County, because let's keep in mind 46% of the student body is Black or Hispanic, but we also need to think about the 16% of English language learners that would be affected if there were no protections under Title III in our rural communities, right? Who are protected under Title V. So this whole idea of us trusting the state to do what's right when it comes to protecting people's civil rights. I mean, this is the same legislative body that tried to expel 3 of our members for siding with moms who didn't want guns in their schools. And these are the people that we're supposed to rely on to protect our kids.
We went back over that just to and I don't want to go off the rails here, but when he said, we ought to let teachers carry guns to school. I look back over for example, my high school year, from my beginning years to, we didn't have kindergarten when I was a kid. That's how old I am. But we went first to 12th grade. I went all 12 years, as a matter of fact. And a lot of people don't believe that. We're going to go to a break in a minute. But I had only 1 or 2 guys, and they were guys, that I would have trusted with a pistol. Because we had all taught, we were in high school, and we hunted and fished and all that stuff. They were the only 2. And that I would have trusted to carry around a pistol at school. Most of the ladies, I don't have no gun in here. I mean, it was a different time, I guess. We're going to go to our first series of breaks. Jackson's going to take us to it. Angela Wynn is with us, and we're talking about public money being done away with in your school system here in Rutherford County. Thanks for joining. We'll be back with you right after this. Stay with us. Hello, everyone. It's Ed with Private Investigations in Middle Tennessee. If you just need someone checked out on a background check, a tag number run, or if you need someone full-fledged to follow, give us a call. You can reach me at 615-390-7219. That's 615-390-7219. Or check out our website at piofmt.com. That's piofmt.com.
I felt so alone, scared, angry, full of self-pity. I just wanted to die, so I took another drink. Then I heard about AA and went to my first meeting. The people there talked about those same feelings. I was no longer alone. They gave me help to stop drinking and hope to start living. Alcoholics Anonymous, it works. Look us up. Check your phone book, newspaper, or AA.org.
Hey, this is Ed, everybody. Want to tell you about a sponsor of ours. We've got Complete Yard Care. Their slogan is, we do it all. Low maintenance landscape design, retaining walls, tree removal, stump grinding, lawns cut, mulching, landscaping. Now you can reach them at 615-785-0384. Or you can look them up on the web at CompleteYardCareTN.com. They have a 5-star ranking on Google. That's Complete Yard Care. We do it all. Go to J. Mullins Jewelers and check out their collection of reactor watches. They're located at 352 West Northfield Boulevard right here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. And also custom-made jewelry. If you want it, they can make it for you. Also gifts for any and all occasions. Weddings, graduations, family reunions, anniversaries, all of it. That's J. Mullins Jewelers, 352 West Northfield Boulevard right here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. All right. Thank you, Jackson. Appreciate it. Thanks to all of our sponsors. Thank you, Tim at J. Mullins and all your crew. Thank you very much. Thank you, Joe and Melissa at Keep It Running. Thank you, Nick at Complete Yard Care. All the rest of you. Thank you so much for, because without your dollars, we obviously couldn't do it. Angela Wynn is here. And, okay, we were talking about this public money for public education, and the state's toying with the idea of just doing away with it, which is total insanity. Shelby County received, let me get this right. Yeah, this is for the 21-22 years. I said these were the latest figures at the time the story was done. Out of the Daily News Journal, Shelby County received $465 million, which was more than 28% of their budget. Metro Nashville received almost 15% of their budget, which was nearly $259 million. Hamilton County received almost 22% of their budget, $130 million. We're talking, like I said, Andrew, we're not talking a box of popcorn here. We're talking, this is serious money.
It is serious money, and we need more. That's the crazy
Well,
part,
here's the
right? thing
thing that gets me. Here are schools. Etowah, E-T-O-W-A-H. Is that how you pronounce that?
Etowah.
That's McMahon County. It's more than 34% of their budget. It's $1.7 million. Those schools can't function without that. Now, and this goes on and on. There are about 10 schools listed here that are right at 30% of their budget. Some of the highest in the state. Hancock County, Campbell County, Morgan County, Benton County. It goes on and on. Haywood County, Wayne County. We're talking serious money here for these people, and say, okay, well, we'll fund that. Okay, you got, for example, Wayne County got $7.8 million. Well, we can fund about $3 million of it. That's a cut, and they're going to have to get rid of some teachers, or something's got to go.
And it's going to be the programs that from the kids that need it the most.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah, and I've said it for years. Feed the kids their lunches.
Yeah,
they need nutrition.
That's something that I just can't understand, is the fact that we can't just do free lunch for all
I don't get it.
Especially considering a lot of these children, this is the only opportunity that they're going to be able to have a balanced meal.
That's exactly right.
And speaking as a former single parent who lived on the cusp of the poverty line, making too much to get the help, but not making enough to actually have my kids eat school lunch every day.
I agree.
We talk about how we're all for kids, and the children are our future, and that's what they care about. But that's not what we're seeing, right?
No.
So the Tennessee Advisory Commission on Intergovernmental Returns actually reported that the state needs to invest $9 billion additional dollars in K-12 infrastructure over the next 5 years. with the bulk of that going towards renovations and tech, and the other one going for, surprise, surprise, additional schools. So while we're talking about using state funds to make up the difference in the federal funds that we're missing, so what about the additional $9 billion that we need just to make us whole right now with our school system, right? Not even to get us to a greater point, but to make us whole for where we need to be to educate our children properly.
We've got a caller on the line, I believe. Caller, you're on. Go ahead.
Mr. Raymer, how are you?
Hello, is this Jeff?
Yeah, how you doing?
I'm fine. How are you, Jeff?
Well, first, I just want to say, y'all talk about these big counties. How about these rural counties?
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Anybody think about, I lived in Lincoln County 4 years.
Right.
Anybody think about what they going to go through?
Yeah, that's the Title V.
And Grundy County, Unicoi County, and we list them all up. We only got 95 of them. We can list all of them off.
Oh, yeah.
We got 900. We only got 95, so we can start listing. We'll be here till 9 o'clock listing county names.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, I'm telling you.
9:30. We'll be here half Miss Murfreesboro, so he wants to be on there with list the county names here.
Right. Well,
here's East Tennessee, Elizabeth, all in.
Here's what you're talking about, Jeff, and it makes perfect. I'm glad you brought this up. Metro schools, this is for 21-22. Their federal funding was just over 10% of their budget. Knox County was just almost 10% of their budget. Now, Etowah County, 34%. And you're exactly right, Jeff. Newport City Schools, nearly 34%.
That's Scott County.
Yeah, Scott County. Hancock County, nearly 32%. Campbell County, nearly 31%. And all of these are close to 30% or more. And you're exactly right.
What about Grundy County? How much is Grundy County? 40?
I do not have numbers on Grundy County, but I know that it's got to be up there. Yeah.
And what about Sevier County? I guess Dolly Parton will fund schools over there. With Dolly Parton County. We'll let her fund the damn school.
Well, I'm all for Dolly Parton, and she would do it.
Yeah, she would.
We can build a school just for her. We just built the school just for Dolly Parton over at Sevier over there. We really funds everything. But let me tell you this, Emily, if we don't want any federal money, hey, just get rid of the school. We don't need no schools in Tennessee. Nobody needs to be educated in this state.
No.
We don't need to know what 2 plus 2 is.
Yeah.
But we make 2 plus 2 6 anyway. What takes the difference? No difference to them.
It doesn't seem to.
8 or 10, there's no difference.
Right. And that's what I'm talking to Angela about. This panel this governor has put together. We're going to talk about that.
That's
panel.
what a panel. What's that? A panel of what is going to put together?
I don't know who they put on it.
I haven't seen who they put on it either.
No. I mean, it's so scary. Nobody really wants to know. Wasn't that the bunch that went on there when they came out with this charter school thing for here in Rutherford County?
Oh, yes.
And they went out. The panel had suggested they do this.
Yes, and the panel was very heavily interested in ACAR coming to Tennessee.
They tried one in Columbia, Murray County over there.
Uh-huh.
They told them no. You know what they told them? You know what the people at Murray County told that school board? They said, let's see how it works in Rutherford County first before we try it over here. That's what they told them. Some people told them Murray County school board.
Which is hilarious.
Let's see how it works in Rutherford County first before we let them come over here to our school over here.
Yeah, which is crazy because, ACAR, in their application, it was stated that they were underfunded. Right? The finances that they had in the application didn't even make sense for them to be able to come in. So where are they going to get the money for that school?
I'll tell you something. If Cameron Sexton's on that board, we know it's crooks if he's on there.
Well.
That man, he's been in jail there anyway. He done committed so many crimes. He ain't been in jail there anyway. We know that. And, of course, it's him. There's a guy in Smyrna, what I'm talking about, that has these tax-free gun safes. If it's him, it ain't going to be no good.
Yeah, well, I'll need a tax-free gun safe.
Hurry up. I'm going to get my gun. I'm going to shoot you. I got to get my tax-free gun. Get my tax-free knife. I'm going to stab you. Hurry up real fast. Hurry up before I stab you.
Jeff.
Tax-free. But now, let's just not have no schools, and we'll have a bunch of dumb people in this state. We don't have no dumb kids. A bunch of dumb kids who won't have no federal funds.
Well, that's what I've said about paying taxes. As you've heard me tell Rob Mitchell before, I don't want to grow up around a bunch of dumb people, And I don't want our kids being uneducated.
Republicans don't want to pay no taxes either. You know better than that.
Well, I wish we could all live here for $100 a year, but it's just not going to happen.
I wish we could all live for free, don't you? We just live for free.
Sure, it'd be nice,
We don't have to worry about having no clothes. We just live for free. We don't have to have no clothes. We just walk around with no clothes on. We do that.
Well, you must be part of the. If you're walking around with no clothes on, you must be part of the Republican Party. Jeff, thanks for calling.
I must be, yeah, but we don't need to be educated. Just get rid of the school. We don't need to be educated in this state.
Okay.
Get rid of all this. So y'all hang in, have a week. Good. See y'all.
Thank you, Jeff. Much appreciated. I noticed he didn't say anything about football this weekend. It's been a bad football weekend here in Middle Tennessee. I'm telling you, this is not good at all. And Jeff is a huge sports fan. I know he ribs me all the time about my boys in Kentucky.
Well, that just goes to show how upset people are about this.
Well, I mean, what is this panel? Were you familiar with this when this all started? Because you were at the crux of this thing when this whole thing. Let me get this right. I think me and the wife were talking about. Didn't you get up and walk out of one of the meetings when the night they took the vote?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They didn't allow anyone to speak or
no,
anything.
They didn't allow anyone to speak. They didn't allow the county to give their presentation. They didn't allow for public comment. So when the vote was made, yes, I did get up and walk out of the room. One, because I didn't want to embarrass myself on camera.
I know.
I've had people text me at school board meetings like, Angela, fix your face.
Right. Yeah.
But the audacity of school board members to sit up there and talk about how this school was going to come in and solve our overcrowding problem and how, school choice is something that we all need, when really this is a school that doesn't meet Tennessee standards. So let's think about that, right? So right now, all schools are held accountable by federal standards, right? We have to report to the feds how our schools are doing. So if we don't have federal funding, then we don't have to be held accountable by those standards. So schools like American Classical Academy, who don't meet just state standards, are going to be allowed to operate and run to the disadvantage of our kids. Because why do we want schools that are not appropriately commissioned to be able to provide the education that our children need to be successful?
Sure. And here's the thing. I noticed the charter school people are still running these ads on television. Who's paying for that? Because they don't give away that airtime.
Moms for Liberty.
God bless them. I mean,
to me, it's just crazy, right? Because, Mr. Sexton is always talking about how, he's a huge proponent of classical education. Classical education.
I'm all for classical education,
rates,
right? Yeah,
all this great stuff. Because we're in a fight for the fabric of America right now.
I've
this
heard
woke ideology that's being forced upon our kids in our public school system. But the thing that's killer to me is, this whole idea of not wanting to adhere to federal regulations, right? I know that many people not know this, but Mr. Sexton, both of his parents were teachers in Knox County. And when we're
in a public school.
But wait, it gets better. So when we want to talk about federal protections, right?
God.
So Mr. Sexton said that the Department of Education was running in the 1970s. He was incorrect on that. The Department of Education did not actually start officially running until 1980. But the crazy part is, in Knox County, although Board v. Brown passed in 1954, it took them to the 1970s before they actually were meeting court-mandated integration rates.
True.
So if we're going to get rid of federal mandates, is that what we're going to go back to? Is that what he feels like we need to do, is to go back to how they were doing things in Knox County when he was a kid and his parents were teachers? That's
what I've said on this broadcast, and these Republicans are about to run us out. Which they think that's what they want to do. But I got news for you. Republicans don't pay taxes. Mm-hmm. They don't.
No, they don't.
We're like Donald Trump.
It's like Donald Trump says. You got to be smart to not pay taxes.
Yeah, you got to be smart. Or you got to be crooked as the dog's hind leg. Okay, I mean, they're a crooked bunch of people. It's their way of thinking, and to dumb down society to where you don't know. There's an advantage to being ignorant. You don't know that you're being messed over. If you're that stupid, because I've been against some of them in business that actually, it's like the guy that told me, I actually had a man that I thought was a pretty good businessman once told me, said, "Oh, I'm just so excited to be in business today." He said, "Oh, we do the things the Walmart way." He said, and let me tell you what happened. We cut our prices by half, and we doubled our business. I said, in other words, you're working twice as hard now for the same money, and you're excited about that. Now, this is supposed to be an intelligent guy that told me this.
Maybe he went to school in Knox County.
I don't know. I mean, I don't. Where do these people come from? How had he made it that far in life? We cut our prices in half and we doubled our business. That's great. I mean, they're out there. Believe it or not, no, they're out there. Adult people that are running businesses. And, you know, hey, folks, you want a good deal? You just keep looking. You'll find somebody dumb enough to give you one, and they'll warranty it for life.
Hey, listen, as someone who has supported many business owners, I can attest to that. It's like sometimes you wonder, how are you still here?
How did you get here to start with anyway? You know, I guess mom and dad had a lot of money.
Oh, that's how it is. Well, it's like the Trump story, right? Didn't he, build up his fortune all by himself off of the small loan that his father gave him? Isn't that the story? That whole story, no. I got the book, The Art of the Deal, when it came out. And that's back when I was halfway a Donald Trump fan. I thought, this man has got some things going. Well, I didn't know the whole story. Mm-hmm. First of all, he didn't write the book. A fellow by the name of Tony Schwartz wrote it. And today, Tony Schwartz would tell you Donald Trump don't know diddly about business. Not one thing.
He started out with money that Papa left him and apartment complexes and buildings that were paid for that were left under rent control in New York City. I don't have to tell you what that's worth in your hip pocket.
Oh, it's worth a lot.
It's a pretty good starting point, okay? And don't get me wrong. I'm happy for him. That's fine. That's wonderful. Your parents leave you money like that, that's great, But this bunch here that we have, they don't need. We don't need federal money. Where's our money been? Where's it been? We're going to go ahead and fund it anyway. Where's the money coming from? This 1.8 billion. Where's it coming from?
I mean, this whole idea. I mean, they have said that it could be done, but there are huge caveats to it, and that's the thing that's
I'm sure there are.
Well, of course there are.
Yeah.
I mean, just think about it. When we were in the pandemic, the need for federal funding, of course, increased. So what happens if we have another, world crisis? What happens if we hit a recession, which we all know is going to inevitably happen, right?
We will have another recession. It happens. That's
just
life.
the way it is.
Right.
And so what happens then, right? How are we going to satisfy the gap in funding if we're no longer relying on the federal government?
Well, that's what I'm wondering is when do the cities, the county mayors, when do they step in and say, hey, wait a minute, our own county commission is stretched right now, and say, wait a minute, we've got to have this money.
Well, I feel like the burden is unfairly put on our educators. Because they are the ones advocating and stating that, hey, we're in this and we know that we need these funds. And that's the thing that kills me, right, is that school district leaders are saying that we need these funds. Teachers are saying that we need these funds.
They're telling us.
The president of the Tennessee Education Association says that we need these funds. And parents know that we need these funds. So if it's supposed to be all about parents' choice, because we've heard that a bajillion times, right?
Yeah,
it's parents'
right.
choice, right?
Agreed.
We're supposed to decide what's going on in the schools. Why isn't this on a ballot somewhere?
Well,
why do we have a committee that's deciding on the education of our students?
It's got here in this story again by Rachel Wagner in the Tennessean, or the Daily News Journal, Tennessean, either one, I'm sure, nowadays. This was in the October 20th edition. If lawmakers act on the potential plan, it would be a move unprecedented in United States history.
No state has ever done it. And it seems like
that's all they want to do is do something that's unprecedented, even if it's spelling your own catastrophe, sending you into a chaos.
Yeah, well, it's crazy to me because no state has ever successfully refused Fed money. I know there was talk about it in a couple of other states, one of them being Oklahoma, which we don't want to talk about how that state is being run right now. But but they're definitely not someone that we want to model ourselves after, right?
No, not at all.
I feel like we are What are they? Well, not the kids now, but when back in the day when we were young, hustling. We're hustling backwards. That's what we're doing.
Well,
here.
that's all. And I've said before. I mean, I started out a while ago to get on my stump. I wish we could go back to 1955 and Ozzie and Harriet and Father Knows Best and all that. Yeah. Well, Father didn't always know best in our house. As a matter of fact, our father was about typical fathers of the time. One of his favorite phrases was, "Where's your mother?" That's about as average as you get. When the stuff hit the fan, where's your mother?
I know that all too well.
Right. I mean, it's part of the South. Where's your mother? What's mother got to do with it? You're the one standing there with a hammer in your hand.
That part.
I'm telling you. I don't know. I'm trying to get the vote on this that they took. And by the way, folks, and we're not going to get into this tonight, but there's another story I've got right here beside me. I'll put up for the camera. And we're not even going to start talking yet about vouchers. We'll save that for another show.
Yes, that's going to be oodles of fun.
Oh, yeah. We'll have a blast. And folks, if you want to talk to this lady, if you want to have her on your broadcast, get ready because she carries a notebook with her everywhere she goes.
I come bearing receipts.
She comes bearing receipts, information. She's got it there.
Well,
I
I feel like it's important for people to be educated on what's happening, right? Not all of us have the privilege of being able to watch.
Yeah, there is such a thing as being educated on education.
Yes. And people need to hear this and know what's going on a state level. Because I think so many people are so vitriol when it comes to federal administration, but the real power lies within state and local municipalities. And those are the places where we really need to be educated most on what's happening with our dollars and what these legislators are deciding for us when it comes to our dollars. To tell people that they are not going to use our federal tax dollars to educate our children. To me, that's ridiculous. And a lot of these lawmakers don't send their kids to public school, so it's not affecting them in any way, shape, form, or fashion.
And let me say this to all of you people that are listening, and I know some of you are, and your children go to private schools. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's great. If you can afford that, bully for you. Okay, I'm not getting into that end of it. That's not what I'm talking about. Because it looks like Rutherford County, I mean, it's like Jeff said in his call. They sent it over here from Murray County and said, let's send it to Rutherford County and let's watch them implode.
Yeah.
Because that is exactly what's going to happen. Because take me back. What was the amount of children they were going to take off Rutherford County's hands? Like 320
yes,
students.
It was like 325 students.
In an area where they don't need any help at all. It was in fourth grade, elementary.
Yes, in the elementary
education.
school. Yes, yeah. I mean, we need the most help with high school and middle
Lord.
school students.
Yeah.
I mean, but the crazy thing is when you think about it, all of them are in danger now, right? From what I've heard, there's like 11,000 permits for new homes in Rutherford County right now.
It's crazy.
It's absolutely crazy. Behind my house, they're building one huge development, and then another one that's not just going to have single-family homes, but they'll have townhomes and condominiums as well. So where are we putting these kids, and how are we funding it? Is now the right time to say no thank you to the funds that we desperately need, especially considering that we know we need even more just to meet the needs of our kids that we have right now, not even thinking about the children that are moving into our county.
Well, and they're still coming.
Yes, they are. And for those of you who are not aware.
And came during the pandemic.
Yes. And for those of you who are not aware, please be sure to attend the specially called board meeting this week, because they will be talking about rezoning, and they want to get your feedback about that. But for me, the idea of rejecting any kind of funds because you want to run education in the way that you see fit is not serving your constituents at all. It's self-serving.
Right. Yeah. What else you got in your notebook for me? Anything good? I know you're bound to have something there.
I've got a lot of good stuff. I mean, the biggest thing for me is thinking about what happens when those federal protections are basically gone because we're not taking these federal funds, right?
Right.
I mean,
Yes.
I keep saying this over and over again, but I mean, not just about Title I and being able to uphold the civil rights of our children, not just Black children, not just Hispanic children, but, children in the LGBTQIA community, children who have learning disabilities. People in Rutherford County have problems already getting the resources that they need for their children who may not be 100% abled. And so to say that we're going to, try to remove funds that we desperately need to also remove those protections for our most vulnerable students, like that's lunacy to me, right? Talking about Title I, talking about, Title II, our English language learning kids. We have a large population of children who are learning English, right? So
Right.
what are we doing about them? We're just throwing them to the wayside, not going to provide them with
Right.
the resources that they need so they can what are we're talking about this American dream, right? How are you giving the American dream if you're not willing to educate people so they can fulfill that American dream? It's like, they talk about this whole pipeline when it comes to college, right? You go to college, they make you take out all of these loans, and then you're indebted to society for the rest of your life.
Oh yeah,
and I
that's
feel
been
like
it's been a nightmare.
yeah, and I feel like that's what they're trying to do from jump. It's public education needs to stay public.
Right.
That is what I thought that's what this country was founded on, right?
That's what I thought.
We're supposed to be about community and helping each other and
Right.
raising, your fellow man, getting yourself up from your bootstraps. So you want to put kids behind and tell them to pull themselves up by their bootstraps
Right,
too?
yeah.
I mean, it's crazy to me. Whatever happened to fostering a sense of community in this country? They want to talk about divisiveness, but things like this, that is what causes division. And it has nothing to do with the people. It has everything to do with people not trusting those that are in office to uphold what their constituents want for themselves.
And I can certainly understand them not trusting the politicians right now.
Oh, my goodness. I still
understand.
can't get over the fact that, they want to censor people. They want to kick people out of the assembly hall. They don't want to allow parents to come in and voice their opinions on things that are happening. I mean, that's crazy to
Well,
me.
the night of the when the Rutherford County School Board voted on this charter school thing, they didn't even allow people to address the board at all.
No,
I
and
believe.
that was purposefully done.
Sure.
Purposefully done.
They're
And a
doing
lot
it,
of
yeah.
and some board members had no idea that was going to happen. And one of them was very vocal about it, that she felt completely blindsided because she didn't even get an opportunity to hear what the county actually had to say about why they rejected this school. So it's not fair to have a board chair who is obviously embedded with these people
Yeah.
advocating
Yeah.
for this school against the wishes of the people who are the parents within the school district.
They're not listening to anyone.
They're not. It's a very minority population that was really gunning for this school to come to our county, and I don't think there is a minority at all that would want to say, no, we don't want this federal money. I can't in my mind even fathom any parent saying, you know what, I don't think we need those federal funds. Let's put more strain on our state resources so that we just can do away with these burdensome guidelines that are not burdensome.
Right, they're not burdensome at all. You need them. Angela Wynn is our guest, and I'll tell you what, we're going to talk about Tuesday's elections when we come back, if you don't mind. Right now, I want to do this for you. Angela Bingham gave me this a while ago, and I wanted to make this this announcement for her. She wanted everybody to save this date. You are cordially invited to learn life-transforming information, financial awareness overview. Now, this will be Monday, November 20th, 2023, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Path of Life Church is 816 North Church Street, right here in Murfreesboro. Guest speaker will be Minister Ron Williams. And if you're ready to unlock your financial potential and explore the incredible path to living the best life now and leaving a legacy, go to this. I may check this out myself. You can RSVP Angela Bingham, 629-772-4408. That's 629-772-4408. I want you to check out I'll tell you what, let's go our first series, and I'll do this when we come back. Jackson, take us to that. Angela Wynn's our guest. I'm Ed Raymer for the Edwin and Raymer Show. Stay with us, back right after this. Hello, everyone. It's Ed with Private Investigations in Middle Tennessee. You know, if you just need someone checked out on a background check, tag them a run, or if you need someone full-fledged to follow, give us a call. You can reach me at 615-390-7219. That's 615-390-7219. Or check out our website at piofmt.com. That's piofmt.com.
I felt so alone, scared, angry, full of self-pity. I just wanted to die, so I took another drink. Then I heard about AA and went to my first meeting. The people there talked about those same feelings. I was no longer alone. They gave me help to stop drinking and hope to start living. Alcoholics Anonymous, it works. Look us up. Check your phone book, newspaper, or aa.org.
Hey, this is Ed, everybody. Want to tell you about a sponsor of ours. We've got Complete Yard Care. Their slogan is, we do it all. Low maintenance landscape design, retaining walls, tree removal, stump grinding, lawns cut, mulching, landscaping. Now you can reach them at 615-785-0384. Or you can look them up on the web at CompleteYardCareTN.com. They have a 5-star ranking on Google. That's Complete Yard Care. We do it all. Go to J. Mullins Jewelers and check out their collection of reactor watches. They're located at 352 West Northfield Boulevard right here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. And also custom-made jewelry. If you want it, they can make it for you. Also gifts for any and all occasions. Weddings, graduations, family reunions, anniversaries, all of it. That's J. Mullins Jewelers, 352 West Northfield Boulevard right here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. And we are back. Thank you, Jackson. Good job on the board as usual. Angela Wynn's with us. I want to tell you about Keep It Running Heat and Air. And if you're looking for a local family-owned heating and cooling company, call Joe at Keep It Running Heating and Air. He's got over 12 years experience in this field. He and his company Keep It Running. They're located right here in Rutherford County, right here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Fully licensed, insured, bonded, and available to help you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We got some cool nights coming, folks. So remember him and Melissa to help keep you and your family up to date with all your heating and cooling needs. Company you can trust, give Joe a call, 615-962-2397. That's 615-962-2397. And you can visit their website at keepitrunningheatingandcooling.com. And you can also catch them on Facebook, doing a great job. Angela Wynn is our guest. We've been talking about public money wanting to do away with public money in public schools.
Yeah, let's just say what's quietly being said is they want to do away with public schools, period.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
That's what they want.
Yeah.
But, we were talking a while ago about how they don't seem to be listening to the constituents.
No, they don't.
Me or you or anybody else. But Tuesday showed us a horse of a different color.
It did. And
Ohio went nearly 60% to put abortion rights for women was into their state constitution.
It's in their state constitution now.
This same thing happened in, was it Kansas?
Yes.
Right after this happened. It's happening all over the place. These ladies, y'all are speaking up. Thank the good Lord. And I thank some of your husbands, thank
I was going to
goodness.
say thank you to all of the men who are standing up.
I agree.
This is a health issue, and it affects everyone. So
I've said it 1,000 times right here. Any doctor worth his or her salt will tell you that at times an abortion is a necessary medical procedure.
And that's exactly what it is, a medical procedure.
Then they're making some women carry. They had one girl made her carry a baby all the entire 9 months. And I think she wound up either very sick or she passed away from it. I don't know. There are nightmare stories that are happening because of this.
There are tons of nightmare stories about women who are literally under a doctor's care, but the doctor is waiting until they're just past the threat of the mother's life with the lawyers on hand, so that the lawyers can say to them, okay, now you can do this to save the mother's life, which is crazy to me.
That a lawyer's involved with a medical decision.
Thank you. We're allowing the legal system to dictate what happens in our medical system.
That won't work with my doctor.
Oh, thank you. It will not work
No.
with mine either.
No.
I had the best doctor ever.
No, mine won't even give me an aspirin. I can't get anything out of this guy that makes me feel better. Nothing at all.
Well, I'm thankful for mine, because when I needed to go out on bed rest at 14 weeks, she put me on bed rest at 14 weeks so that I wouldn't have to, unfortunately, be one of those people making the decision.
Right. Yeah. I'm telling you. But thank goodness, ladies, you're doing it. You're waking up. You're waking up the crowd, and I'm glad to see it.
Yeah, and college
Oh, our college kids are something
too.
else.
Well, they're saying that it looks like they're more motivated than they were when Trump was running for office, which is great considering this is not a presidential election year, right? These off years are just as even more so important than a presidential election.
It fell just
local.
right. Yeah, it's like they fall right out of the clear blue sky. I mean, we've got an election coming up Tuesday. Whoa, what are you talking about? What's up? And of course, I'd known Governor Beshears I don't know Andy Beshears, but I knew the race was coming up because my best friend Terry Jones. We talk about it all the time, back and forth by phone, and his opponent had a lot of money behind him, and Andy's still come out on top.
Yeah,
thank the good Lord.
I was going to say, thank goodness on that.
Yeah. So that's a positive sign for a lot of our Democrats that are involved in this thing, and involved very heavily.
Yeah, I'm hoping that this trend continues to happen, especially across state and local municipalities, because those are the places where we really need people who actually care about doing what's right for the people that live and the people that they serve.
Agreed. Right. I mean, you've got, what were the numbers like? Was it more than 80% of people felt that the abortion issue should be left alone between a doctor and the mom?
Yeah, and it's so funny.
It's way up there. It may be closer to 90%. That 90% of people want, common sense gun control.
Yeah, it's more than 2/3 of the country agree that those rights belong between a woman and her doctor. And when it comes to gun law, everybody wants sensible gun laws.
Anything is common sense, but it seems like common sense has gone out the window.
Common sense is not common. That's the word on the
It's
street.
not. No, it's not common, all right.
Well, it's crazy to me because we know what all of these play into, right? These all play the decision not to move forward with gun rights always has to do with the gun lobby, no matter which way they want to spin that. And this whole idea of negating abortion rights is, of course, that fear, that huge white fear of becoming the minority.
Well, the gun rights people were the NRA and this Lepierre, Mr. Lepierre, Pepe Le Pew, whatever his name is, they called one night. I was in Kroger. This is when Miss Hillary was running against Trump. You remember her, the girl that beat Donald Trump? You remember that? Yeah. Donald, if you're listening by chance, I hope you are, because you got beat. You've never won an election, and you got beaten your first one by a girl. I just got to say that. This guy called. Said he was with the NRA. I'm standing in Kroger, out South Church, and I got my phone. And Mr. Raymer, our gun rights are in danger of being taken away from us with Hillary Clinton. I said, wait a minute. And so I really got loud, which is strange for me.
That is absolutely strange.
I'll be with you in a minute. And you know too much already. And I said, no, and I want people to hear. No, our gun rights are not endangered. You're endangering people by telling them this because you're lying to them. Mm-hmm. I wish I'd had a way to record that call back then. I'd have played it right here on the air from time to time. No, I said you're pushing a lie. No one's gun rights. No one's come to my door, knocked on the door. Hey, Eddie, bring us your guns. No, that's not happening. It's a lie. And I had a good lawyer friend of mine, who's a good friend, older gentleman, and we sat down. Occasionally, years ago, we'd sit down and talk. I guess before I ever got here, and I asked him one morning. I said, because they do so much of this stuff. They lie so much. I said, John, did President Obama ever say he was coming for our guns? And John shook his head. No, Ed. President Obama. I said, okay, I didn't think he did, but I thought, well, maybe something got past me. Maybe there's a piece of tape. And now what I'm worried about with this AI thing, the artificial intelligence, there's no telling. You're not going to be able to believe anything you see.
Oh no.
Or even hear on radio.
Yeah. It's crazy, and it's more or less the deep fake stuff that you have to really worry about.
Yeah, and the fake Christianity, the fake Christians. We've got this guy in Mount Juliet that just is a total. I mean, I think they've got people, they're more like bouncers at church, which we always had at our church because. The only reason we had them, we didn't want the Church of Christ coming in to a Baptist ceremony. But sorry about that, fellas. But
if you know me, you know why I'm laughing so hard at this.
Are you Church of Christ?
Oh, I grew up Church of Christ. My uncle was a Church of Christ minister. My grandfather was a Church of Christ minister.
I'm sorry to hear that.
That's probably why I'm agnostic now.
That explains a lot. Okay, folks, you heard it on the air right here. We've broken new ground. And no, but seriously, I mean, it's just ridiculous, way far out and freaky things. Just speak the truth. It's a lot easier. It's easier to remember. I mean, my memory's not that good. I'm a quick forgetter anyway. So, I mean, I've got to tell the truth, And we've had people right in here that have said things and gone out here and contradicted them through their actions.
Very much through their actions and long letters that they cried over.
Yeah, I know. And, but Angela, we've got about 2.5 minutes left. Anything else you can think of right now? Anything?
I really want people to stay aware and understand what's happening in this environment right now. Going into the next election, the fight for public school is happening right now. And there are some really great organizations out there that are fighting for your public schools who would love for you to join with them, to help with them. So the first one is SOCM, which is a statewide organizing for community and empowerment at SOCM.org. And then there's also an organization called Race Forward. I'm actually taking their HEAL training right now. That's raceforward.org.
Angela Wynn has been here. Jackson's been on the board. Bill's coming in here next. Mr. Murfreesboro. I'm Ed Raymer for the Edwin Lee Raymer Show. And I'll tell you what, till next Sunday night, I'll catch you down the road. Have a great week, everybody.